looking this week at how we can find victory over fear. And I mentioned yesterday the 10 major fears that people have. Let me repeat some of them. The fear of poverty, fear of death, fear of old age, fear of bad health. We fear the loss of love. We fear criticism and fear of making wrong decisions. Number 8 is the fear of failure. Can cause us to not attempt things that we are very capable of doing. Isn't that scary, eh? You've got a gift, you're able to do it, but fear stops you doing it. Some people spell faith, R-I-S-K, risk. And at times we may fail, but that's actually okay. Bible characters, so many of them fail. Moses and Jonah and David and Peter and on it goes. Failure wasn't the end, but with God they became stepping stones to greater achievement and success. The key is to fail forward, not fail backwards. In other words, grow, learn, become a better person. Tell yourself that failure is okay. It's a part of life. A true definition of failure, in my opinion, is when you fail and you don't get up again. That's failure. But hey, if you get up again, because we're all going to fail somewhere along the line, and most great achievers failed many, many times. Number 9 is the fear of the future. We live in a challenging world, a challenging society. Hey, it's very dangerous out there now, but we can be afraid of what the future may hold. Then there's a fear for our safety. Of course, it's very common, and sometimes it's a good, healthy fear to have, but sometimes it's more than what is a reasonable fear. Okay, so how are we going to conquer fear? What can we do? What sort of things can we put into place? Let me give you some thoughts about why we must conquer fear, first of all, is that fear has torment. 1 John 4:18. If you have ever, and it says that fear has torment. If you have ever experienced crippling fear and the torment that comes with it, it is a horrifying emotional and mental feeling. Sometimes the grip of fear, it's very difficult to handle. And the results of such fear can lead to depression, emotional instability, mental disorder, even sickness. Some people say, and some doctors say, that, or some surveys say that, a large percentage of sickness is caused by fear. Some would say 63%. I don't know how accurate this is, but others would say up to 90% of sickness is caused by fear. But God doesn't want any of us to live in fear and torment. He wants to set us free. The second thing why I need to overcome fear is it paralyzes our potential. Victory over fear is the key to fulfilling everything God has for us. Joshua was called to lead the children of Israel into the promised land. Do you know that he had to overcome fear? 3 times he is told, be strong and not be fearful. And Joshua 1 verse 6, be strong and of good courage, for to this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their forefathers to give them. If that wasn't enough, he says in verse 7, only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do all according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Verse 9, have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. If the Lord told me 3 times like that not to be afraid, I would be very afraid. Because why would he be telling me so many times? There must be some stuff coming up. John Wesley said this, give me 100 men who fear nothing but God and sin, and I'll shake the world. He must have found the 100 men. Fear confronts us in many stages of our Christian walk. We may have to overcome fear just to get saved. Then there's a fear of or opposition that we get from our families or from our friends. We may fear getting baptized in water, baptized in the Holy Spirit. We may fear speaking in public or giving a testimony. We could fear a call to leadership, or maybe to be in what we call full-time ministry. We fear the financial costs that it might take. All through our Christian life, I think fear is going to try and hold us back, try and limit our potential and all that God has got for us. So it's really important that we learn to overcome fear.